Monday, September 21st. Looking ahead at this week's schedule, we will be ending Lesson 1 on seasons, doing a review, and having our first test for Lesson 1 on Friday. So we'll look ahead, test on Friday. Today, we're going to be completing a reading assignment on page 15 and 16, a 3D thinking on page 16, what is Earth's seasonal cycle reading, and reading a scientific text on page 19. Please check PowerSchool. Make sure you have turned in any previous assignments. And I am currently taking grades on the work we did last week. The work we did last week, everyone was supposed to either submit online or send me a picture of pages 5, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, and 15. You'd like to email those photos to sbushnell@mymps.us. Please do a little research. If you don't know how to email pictures, you can just do a Google search. You can search, how do I send photos through Google email? Go to videos, watch a video, learn how to do it. You're going to need to get those photos to me for a grade, or you need to submit them online. I did not get many students that turned those things in. Please email me privately at sbushnell@mymps.us if you have any concerns or questions. For today's assignment, we start with reading about energy reaching the northern and southern hemispheres differently throughout Earth's yearly cycle. And so I would like you to read this to yourself. But this reading, which is called Why Do Earth's Seasons Change as Earth Orbits the Sun, you'll be reading about which hemisphere receives more sunlight, less sunlight, and how that affects temperatures. When you are done reading this, take what you have read and answer the three-dimensional thinking question. If you're using your textbook, the three-dimensional thinking question is on page 16, because you just got done reading page 15 and 16. When you are done answering this, submit it or not if you're working out of your workbook. And next you're going to read about Earth's seasonal cycle. You're going to read about the solstices and the equinox. By the way, the fall equinox is tomorrow at 8:30 in the morning. Equinox comes from the word equal, meaning equal day and equal night. Please read about why it is an equal day and equal night. Read about the solstices. If you're reading online, there is interactives. If you're reading from your book, pay attention to the pictures, especially as you read. Don't forget to read page 18. On page 18, you compare and contrast the 4 astronomical seasons, which is the December solstice, September equinox, the March equinox, and the June solstice. And as I mentioned, tomorrow is the September equinox. It occurs at 8:30 in the morning. That is when the sun's equator, or the sun's solar energy, directly hits and is overhead the equator. Everywhere on Earth should have approximately an equal hours of day and night. Okay, when you are done reading, you're going to do an assignment where you learn how to read a scientific text. It's called close reading in science, and when you read a scientific text, it's a little bit different than reading a book for pleasure. What you do is you read this article, which compares meteorological versus astronomical seasons. You first read it, then you reread the fourth paragraph and underline cause and effect relationships, and you end with communicating. So what I would say, if you're in school, you communicate with a partner, but if you're at home, you'd be communicating. Maybe you can communicate what you learned to your parents. So when you read this text, there's not a lot of pictures with it. So I thought to help you out, I would kind of give you a idea what they mean. You know, meteorology is weather. So I found these two images on the internet. So your weatherman, your weather lady, whatever it may be, may consider the start and end of winter, spring, summer, and fall to be a little bit different than the astronomical one. Like, for example, a meteorologist might say, hey, December 1st, winter starts today. Usually, meteorologists chunk seasons into 3-month slots. So, December, January, February, they just call those 3 months winter. So, for them, winter may start December 1st. But astronomically, the winter solstice does not occur December 21st or 22nd. It varies each year, and when you read the article, they will explain why. Same thing with spring. They may say spring is March, April, May, but astronomically, it really starts June 20 or March 20th. Same thing with summer and fall. So they're close, but they're not exact. And when you read the article, it'll explain what causes these differences for a meteorologist. Astronomical means the sun and the earth dictate the date. Meteorological means humans use climate data to assign dates to seasons. Close, but not exact. This was another image I pulled up comparing the astronomical and meteorological winter. If you want to look at this longer, just pause your video. Okay, so please read that. And that is what we're doing today, Monday, September 21st. Please, once again, go on PowerSchool. Make sure you're turning everything in that you're supposed to turn in. Last week, you were supposed to send a photo of your workbook. I did not receive those photos from many of you. Make sure you do that. What photos, Miss Bushnell? Pause the video and write this down. Last week, you were supposed to email a picture of page 5, which was the science probe. Page 7, that was when you drew a picture of encountering the phenomena. Page 8 was the first page of your claimed evidence and reasoning. Page 12 was the investigation you did on night and day. Page 13 was the investigation on stargazing. Page 14 was the investigation ahead of the curve. And page 15 was a 3-dimensional thinking problem. Please make sure you either submit those online or get a picture to me at sbushnell@mymps.us. Thank you and goodbye.